Neil, you bring the interesting perspective because a majority of your time is dedicated to the Walleye, but there's plenty of Walleye-related events that take place at Fifth Third Field, the biggest one of which is Winterfest, and we just had that on BCSN, by the way. How great of an event was that originally, and how awesome was it just recently in December and I think early part of January?
Yeah, well, Justin, it was great the first go around back in 14, 15. As you and I were speaking a little bit before, one of my fondest memories, and maybe one of the most ridiculous memories, is I'll never forget standing there on the field in December at the ballpark, which really had no business being there to begin with, talking about having to maybe cancel a hockey game because of rain. Yeah. Like none of it added up. Yeah. And if viewers remember, that was against Fort Wayne at the time, which we ended up having to cancel that game and then replay it the next day. But coming out of COVID, well, as we were coming out of COVID here, back in December and January, there was a little anxiety, a little apprehension as to how will the community respond to Winterfest 2, and they responded greatly. I mean, it was fantastic. I think it exceeded our expectations, but it was great to see all the fans come back, baseball fans and hockey fans. I mean, the support there was awesome.
And it wasn't just for the ECHL and the Walleye. You had youth games down here. You had high school games that were well attended, and not only those, but they were great games, close games down to the third period.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, we had everything. I mean, youth hockey, high school hockey, having the St. Francis St. John's high school game. 3,000 people or so out here for a high school game. It was fantastic. And then the two Walleye games, Adrian College. I mean, everything was just hockey related, and it was just really fun to see that in downtown, and especially during a time frame when downtown might be a little bit more quiet because of the holidays. But to be able to bring those people down here and support downtown is a good thing.
I also wanted to ask you about that unique time in a calendar year in which Walleye season or playoff season for the Walleye overlaps with the Mud Hens regular season. I remember in recent years we've had games played in the afternoon and then at night, both teams in action on the same day. That's just got to be so exciting and unique for a Toledo-sized city.
It is. It's really neat to see that, especially when the two teams are playing at the same time. We kind of joke internally in the office. There's those days when the two teams are playing where they might end the same time, and heaven forbid, you might have to wait through two lights to get out of downtown. And but it's fantastic to see the energy where you could have upwards of 15 to 20,000 people down here just for the Mud Hens and Walleye games. It's fantastic.
And tell me about what else can happen here at Mud Hens at the stadium, because there's a time when the Walleye are playing on the road and the game will be on BCSN. You'll have a watch party here to watch it, and you had a crowd physically present here that maybe you guys didn't expect to see.
Yeah, in some of the playoff games in recent memory, we've done exactly what you said, the watch parties here. We've probably have had games in which the fans locally coming to the watch party might have even been a little bit better than some of the games in other arenas that were being attended in person. So the fan base here is top notch. I mean, there's no doubt about how Toledo supports hockey. They've supported it for years, and just the incarnation of the team now with the Walleye, it's been lights out.
With the Mud Hens and opening day, it's a holiday in the 419. When you absorb and take in opening day, what comes to mind?
I'll tell you, I think it's the fans, and I remember one time it was Mike Veck, who you might remember as the father of Bill Veck, who did all the promotions and things way back in the day in Major League Baseball at the Indians, and Mike Veck one time at one of the baseball meetings had said to me, just in passing, he goes, "You always got to remember," he goes, a community doesn't need a ballpark, but a ballpark needs a community. And it really hit me when he said that one time, and it's lived with me ever since. And it's so true. You got to have the people here, and you got to have the support. So to be able to come down here on opening day, or really any time throughout the season, and see the masses of people that come down here, you really pinch yourself, and you appreciate that support and the love and the passion that people have.
Yeah. One of, if not the best day in Toledo sports in a calendar year, Mud Hens opening day. That is Neil Newcomb as we look forward to April 5th.